The media loves to gaslight fans when they write headlines like this. Star Trek reveals a classic hero is bisexual. Oh, yes. The reveal means they changed a classic hero to be that way. And then you're supposed to accept that they were that way all along, part of this LGBTQ agenda narrative. Now, we're fast approaching Pride Month, my friends, which means we're going to get bombarded with this day in and day night over and over. And what they're doing with Nurse Chapel and Star Trek is actually pushing it even further into a creepy agenda than even they were doing 2 years ago. They're not satisfied just leaving it right there. And it's nonsense. I mean, the way that they do it is cowardly. They the stunning and braveness never really works the way that they pretend it does, and it's just sick. And it's just something that is meant to just, of course, mess with you and mess with the way that these series used to be, in order to destroy them. That's really what it is. They want to destroy all fun and make it so that the only entertainment out there has to be with their agenda full time. We're trying to change things over here, my friends, and I would love for you to hit the like and subscribe button. We have also our own science fiction out there. This is The Stars Entwined. I have a full-on trilogy right here, which is on audio, print, and ebook. I'm going to put this link in the description below. If you like Star Trek, you're absolutely going to love this series. It's a great replacement with none of the weird LGBTQ crap in it. We did a great job, and we're going to be going forward with a new series spinning out of this, doing some great space exploration stuff. I'm very excited for what's ahead. All right, so this is Nurse Chapel. Nurse Chapel was from the Star Trek original series, and now she's a much more prominent role in Strange New Worlds. In Strange New Worlds, she has a fixation on Spock and a love interest in Spock. She is like pretty much the only good-looking cast member of Strange New Worlds, other than Chris Pine, I guess, if you swing that way. But as far as the females go, that's about all they have. So they can't just leave her as a normal person, which is contrary to real life, because as we know in real life, all lesbians are very interesting looking. Let's just say that. But they want to push this like fantasy agenda where this like LGBTQ whatever is something that's to be coveted, where all the beautiful and cool people are, and it's totally to manipulate society in that direction. It's actually a depopulation agenda that the globalists want. They want everybody to be gay, so that you don't have babies and don't reproduce in order to keep the population down. That's exactly what it's all about. It's way more cynical than they pretend with their love is love nonsense in their branding. And what they did in Strange New Worlds is they made it a throwaway line. They've not put her into any situations in the show where she'd actually have to like go through with any of this stuff. It's very, very Spock focused in her relationship, which makes sense given the original series. But the throwaway line, she's talking to, of course, the stunning and brave Black Doctor, who's in charge here. And she mentions that he mentions that there was a girl she was interested in at some point in a quick line, and that was it. That was the quote reveal. So they did that obviously to virtue signal, and it had no point to the plot, and they just wanted to put that in there real quick. But now they have a Star Trek Celebrations Pride Month anthology comic coming out that nobody's going to read except for me. I'm gonna review it on my comic review channel, where they push this to an extreme level with the worst, most horrible self-insert writing I've ever seen in my entire life. Be prepared for epic amounts of cringe out of Star Trek here. I mean, you've already seen it with Discovery as it is. I mean, gosh, I could do like 10 videos on how crazy cringe all that is right there. But what's coming out this month is this scene here, and you see Nurse Chapel's working on a project right here, which is actually more about making people into transgenders. It's very, very weird. So she's coming up with some like project, and of course she's trying to figure out how to manipulate people's gender or sex or whatever you want to call it without genetic changes. And because genetic changes are bad because of Khan Noonien Singh, who's like this superhuman, they don't want to mess with genomes. Now, as you might be aware, if you are part of if you're not a science denier, like a lot of these transgender advocates, There are genomes, and there's an that have chromosomes, and those chromosomes go XX or XY. And inside those determine whether you're a man or a woman. That is literally it, and those are the only possible combinations. It's settled science. It's just settled science. Don't question the science. So they're doing this, trying to figure out how to do things without genomes, and that's what's going on right here to make a weird transgendery sort of situation with things. Then cut to the weird situation where it gets even creepier with these people. So you can see the dialogue. It's like they think I'm the second coming of Khan Singh, says Nurse Chapel. I didn't know he was slim-built, bottle blonde, says the transgender black person who she's apparently dating. Right? I'm almost insulted. What's that make me? Well, it makes you a man pretending to be a woman. Khan's hot-ass warp theorist girlfriend. Okay, so let's pause this right here because here we now have Nurse Chapel with a transgender girlfriend, black girlfriend. I mean, they can't. They should have put him in a wheelchair. Sorry, because then it would have had all of the points really settled then. But it's insane. I mean, it's such bad slash fan fiction. This is something that these little Kirk Spock romances these old fat ladies used to fantasize about. This is exactly what's being done here. Now, this is written by Mags Visaggio, and Mags Visaggio is a transgender activist posing as a comic creator, and weasels his way into these things. His real name's Brian. In order to just ruin different property. Look at the art here too. It's very weird that Nurse Chapel has like a 5 o'clock shadow. Whoever did the coloring for the lighting here made it look like she's got a beard. Nurse Chapel's got a beard. That in more ways than one. Very, very funny. This is so ridiculous. And naturally, nobody talks like this, and the character doesn't talk like this in the show too. Really weird. I'm just gonna lose my fellowship, Roz. Section 7 is gonna come and shut me down. Probably won't toss me in jail, but there goes my doctorate. But you've worked so hard for it. Okay, that's my transgender voice now. And I might not be biomedical, but I can tell you're pushing the whole field. And Phlox was so supportive. Listen how they talk like they're on Twitter talking about their genders. It's a self-insert every time. Hell, he was excited. And this is exactly how Mags Visaggio types on Twitter. Using what's basically an allergic reaction to Lev K, but no matter what I do, it crosses the legal threshold for criminal genomics or doesn't work at all. And Section 7 is a notorious stickler for prosecuting that particular rule. So let's go down further a little bit. Where they talk about things. And here's where it gets really weird. And this is where you learn that this black lesbian, who looks like a man here, also has a 5 o'clock shadow beard, is actually a man. Showing you my SEM patches, subdermal epidemic modulation therapy. So this person's getting weird estrogen therapy. These little babies here and in a few other locations. So they're talking about, I guess they stick it in the dude's front hole or something. Or back hole. I don't know. They're not. Don't elaborate. A few. You know what Mags is thinking about. It's disgusting. Degenerate. They get my body to do stuff it otherwise wouldn't do. Estrogen, breast growth, even gamete production, and does it all without touching my overall genome. Well, I mean, they didn't do a very good job with the breast growth, as you can tell here. It looks like a dude's torso, which is really funny. Because even in their wildest fantasies in space, these people still don't actually look like real women. Now, this is what they're doing with Star Trek, and they're trying to, again, just push the agenda that was thrown here in the Strange New Worlds episode in a throwaway line into something absolutely so far and ridiculous. And it's crazy that this is getting published at all. I mean, I don't know who the audience for this is. It's so cringeworthy. The storytelling's bad. The writing's horrible. The dialogue's horrible. It's just wow. Even the art's horrible. It's like, what more do you want? Absolutely crazy what they're doing here with Star Trek. And gosh, tomorrow marks Star Trek Discovery's final episode as this all comes to a fruition. I might review it on the channel. The problem is, like, Star Trek videos don't do very well because nobody cares anymore. I'm the last person like trying to fight for Star Trek out there. It's so sad to watch at this point. But this is what Max Visaggio is doing to these characters, just absolutely destroying the legacy of Nurse Chapel from the original series. Very sad. Ugh. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to grab my book, The Stars Entwined, on Amazon, and get the alternative to Star Trek today.